have these moments where we are sitting at a dinner table, often next to a complete stranger, and everyone is trying to make the small talk. And very often the stranger next to you goes, "Hey, so what do you do?" And every time I get asked this question, I go, "Oh man, not again." Because when I answer this question, when I tell people that I'm an engineer, or I'm a psychologist, or when people tell others that they're economists, they're mathematicians, the scientists, the musicians, I feel judged that what we do for a living is supposed to be our one true passion. And that led me to ask this question: do we really have one true passion? Is it possible that all human beings like one thing and one thing alone? Is it possible that a jack of all arts is master of none? And do we think about these things? Do we think about these things when we choose to do our bachelor's, or when we choose to do our master's, or when we choose a career? Do we really think about these things? When I was 18 and wanted to do a bachelor's, I really had no idea what I should do. And I did engineering because, hey, it gets you a job. And hey, it's really cool. But as I started to do engineering, when I was in my first year, I began to realize that I have so many interests. I was interested in psychology, I was interested in stand-up comedy, I was interested in cooking. But when I told people that, hey, I'm an engineer, but I really like psychology, people often wondered, so what is this guy going to do now? Is he going to go walk up to a car and ask, "Hey car, why are you feeling depressed today?" You know, what I think is that as society, we think that human being is just a degree. But I think there is more to a human being than that. A human being is not a degree. We think that our identities are static. But what I think is that our identities evolve. And as we start exploring, as we start growing, our identities, our interests evolve. But how do we incorporate this in this structure? What do we do? I decided to pursue a degree in psychology anyways. I did stand-up comedy, I hosted my own radio show, I did everything I wanted to do. But what I realized doing this was that this somehow added to my personality in a positive way. But my most important realization was that different perspectives can come together to create something amazing. Look at behavioral economics, for example. Who would have thought that behavioral science and economics can come together to offer a new perspective to the world? And I think this is super cool. So what do we do then? How do we create a structure in our society that lets people pursue all their interests? How do we do this? Unfortunately, I don't have an answer. But what I know for a fact is exploring worked for me. So what I recommend to you people is that explore. Find out what your passions are. Don't be afraid to read a new book. Don't be afraid to take a new class. Get out of your comfort zone and find what you really like. It's only when we do these things as individuals, we realize that our society is evolving with us. And maybe someday we will be able to create a structure where people get to pursue their interests together. So in conclusion, I want to ask for you people today, what are your passions and how will you pursue them? Thank you.
All right, friends, questions for Avijit? Yes, okay, my friend in the back here.
Hello, yeah. My name is Nakul Sharma and I am from India. And I have observed in the society which I come from that 5 or 6 members of family are dependent on just one person for their living. So in that kind of scenarios, what that person should do, like should he opt for a job or for a career or a passion?
Thanks for the question. I come from a very similar society, in case you wondered. We're brown together.
Whoa.
But what I want to say is that I'm not saying don't get a job. I'm not saying don't earn a living. I'm not saying any of these things. What I'm saying is that while you're doing what you do, don't be limited to that. Don't get comfortable in where you're sitting. Just get out and explore. And that does not require a lot of resources these days. It's very easy to do. I'm sure all of you agree with me there. Thank you.